Good evening, everyone. I am Ankita Nupur, the moderator for this event. Thank you and welcome you all for tuning in. Like we all know, the current ongoing crisis has not only changed the way we work or we live at our houses, but it has majorly impacted the way we communicate with each other. Keeping that in mind, today we have with us an inspiring woman who believes in empowering and encouraging women, Miss Tanushri Chakraborty. Please join me in welcoming
Hi,
her. Hi, ma'am.
hi
How are you?
Ankita, hi everybody. I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
I am good, ma'am. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah,
So,
so
ma'am,
these times are
Womanovator
such.
has,
Yeah,
right, ma'am. So, Womanovator has always believed in, you know, uh, welcoming, inspiring, and encouraging stories from various other backgrounds, especially from women. And yours is such a story. So, let me take this opportunity to quickly introduce you to our audience.
thank
So,
you.
she is Tanushri Chakraborty, founder of Winnings 3, having 12 years of corporate experience. She believes in encouraging, promoting, and empowering women. At the same time, her website, Winnings 3, provide a platform for all these women to connect, network, and share their success stories. So, ma'am, today's topic that we aim to discuss is challenges a working woman faces after she gets married. So let's dive into the topic. And my first question to you is, one of the biggest challenge a woman faces after she gets married is, the expectation to change her priorities, as in both at the workplace and the home front. So, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, so thank you so much, firstly for inviting me to this talk show, virtual We Talk by Women Novator. And I would like to congratulate Women Novator for the wonderful work that they are doing. They are the largest women community, in the world, and also a virtual incubator for women. They support women, MSMEs, and all. And women actually look forward to such opportunities these days while we are sitting at home. So I'm very thankful indeed for the opportunity that has been extended today to me, as well as I'm really glad that such a need of the hour topic has been chosen, because challenges are actually faced by working women, post marriage. And the differentiation just not happens post marriage; it begins a lot earlier. And post marriage it adds on because of the added responsibilities. And working women and work life balance has always been known for, I mean, it has always been in the picture. So yes, your first question was about priorities. So Ankita, let me tell you this, that every girl in our society is brought up to be adjusting, in nature. And this expectation is more so because in our country women are treated as pariah dhan, or objectified as a property of somebody else. So, they are required to mold as per the house that they are married into, the new ways of life. They have to change their identity completely. Something as spontaneous, like even laughing out aloud is not allowed for women or girls in households, which is subjected to intense scrutiny in many households. This also goes with office life, where married ladies, on leaving at 6 p.m. from work, will grab a lot of eyeballs, pity, sympathy will be given. बोलेंगे कि लड़की है तो जाना पड़ेगा ही. She cannot pick up odd shifts because her family wouldn't allow. She better does not have too many male colleagues at work. It will actually raise a lot of eyebrows. She has to be dressed in a certain way. And promotions, she has to understand that the guy stayed back for long hours at work, and hence, that guy got a better increment. So something as personal as trying to go the family way is also being questioned in offices. Offices become really watchful there, and they ask notorious questions. And females who are trying to go the family way are marked red in their performance charts by renowned organizations also. So I feel that there is no need to mold women at all, and our society has to change big time. Why must a woman change herself, to fit into the marriage or after marriage, be it workplace or her new house? Instead, the new house should adapt to her ways. Atiti Devo Bhava is a saying which Indians believe in. It's a very famous saying, and a lady leaves her everything and she joins a new house. So why not the new house welcome her like an Atiti and make way for her ways? So that is one thing. And then at work too, policy should be clearly defined so that women do not face any gender bias or discrimination at all. The work actually should speak for them, Ankita.
That I completely agree with you, ma'am, because right now that we are in the 21st century, even having such expectations from a woman that she kind of fits into a mold, I don't think is justified at all. So my next question that I want to discuss with you is, like you mentioned, a woman who's leaving late from work grabs a lot of eyeballs. And when we talk
Right,
about international organizations, there are times when, a woman is expected, when she's a leader, she's expected to extend her shift for a particular meeting or a conference, and there is still a
right,
lot of taboo about women working so late or working for extended hours. So according to
right,
you, like as you mentioned that our society needs to change, both the
right,
people at the house, at the same time the organization. So what do you think,
right.
a family member of a working woman can do in order to kind of help her and support her in this journey?
Right. So that's a very valid point. Actually, traveling for work is a requirement for better career opportunities, for conferences that women have to attend. But it's a distant dream for many women in our country. Being stationed and working in the same city as their husband is what is looked at to be an ideal situation. And family planning also comes in their way to go outside. So, for example, in my case, also when I was going the family way, I had been chosen by my office to go to Pune. And I was in Noida at that time, but I couldn't move out because I was going the family way. It was not possible, so I had to kind of let go of that opportunity which had come. So it happens with all these women, there. That is one thing. But what I feel is that the companies will have to think and rethink about inculcating measures to support women's staff at work. So, for example, like during Corona, the entire country is working from home. So why not, giving that opportunity and extending that opportunity for new mothers and married women as it is? There should be a provision so that they can do their jobs from either the location offices or from their homes. For example, conferences and meetings can also be done from home these days. We all know that the Zoom is going live. Even we are talking on a live chat show. So, taking conferences and meetings from where they are will also be able to give them an opportunity to be an active participant and contribute. So, the offices will really have to think about such things where people can, or women can actually work from home. And having said that, a conference always looks better when we attended at a different location. The feel of the place boosts a lot of positivity in the female. It adds to her confidence. She gets to know a lot of new people. So traveling for work will always be there. It will always be special, which is why the husband and the new family should be supportive and adaptive to the brides, their working needs. Like men, even women have to travel for work, and it is high time that the society actually stops labeling such women as careerists and respect them for their outstanding devotion for the work that they are doing.
Absolutely, ma'am. I cannot agree more. And the unfortunate thing is, women only make 3.5% of the total MDs and CEOs that we have in India. Because as we see, when a woman decides to go up on the hierarchy, ladder, she faces a lot of issues. Like you mentioned, pregnancy discrimination is one of them. That,
Right,
there is a notion or as an assumption that, now that a woman has gotten married, she would be expected to start a family, hence she would not be able to
right,
devote a lot of time to work. And there is a lot of
Right.
discrimination, that a woman faces at organization, especially when during
Right.
promotions. So what do you
Right.
think? So do you think it is a need of the hour to that we support and give flexible working hours to probably working mothers, or what do you think, like even in terms of emotional support, what can be done so that this particular pregnancy discrimination can be eliminated at least?
Right. So pregnancy, despite being a blessing in life, it becomes a curse for working women actually. And instances are there where companies come and request females to go on early maternity leaves, because of their this thing is actually going to cause a hindrance in the company's performance. Is what there is this thing. So companies come and say that why don't you go on a break? So discrimination and harassment for women when they get pregnant is quite a normal thing, which also goes unreported because many women do not know that being fired, harassed, or discrimination during pregnancy is illegal under the Maternity Benefit Act of the Indian laws. So that's one thing, and secondly, the problem is more pervasive than we can think. It persists in a more deeper way. It exists before pregnancy, it also exists after pregnancy. So that is also there. So Indian companies are notorious for asking questions before pregnancy or before a woman joins, like about their marital status or their maternity status or maternity plans for female job candidates. Similarly, when women get pregnant or return post maternity break, I already told you that once women get pregnant, they are asked to leave early for their breaks, and once they are returning from maternity break, there is a whole lot of other problems which are waiting for them. It is common for companies to deny promotion to women post maternity break because promotions are performance based, and the women's maternity break gets recorded as no performance days. So this also happens, even when companies actually have backups for those women who've gone for pregnancy needs. So that is very insensitive towards a mother. Assuming working mothers to not be long-term assets is another problem. Companies feel they wouldn't stick for long. So most companies do not offer creche or flexible working hours also, forcing women to choose between their babies, home and work. So these are some challenges that women face. Even I, as a working mother, did face these challenges. But organizations can actually handle this very better, by providing flexi hours, by providing work from home services, by providing, work from home options, by providing creche services to these mothers. Companies should become really sensitive towards working mothers. They should probably show initiatives like complimentary yoga sessions or mom and baby bonding time at work so that females feel more involved, females feel cared for, they feel belonging to that particular organization. Performance criteria pertaining to promotion should get modified also. Companies' mindsets have to change here, they have to become more progressive to be able to adjust to this particular thing and to be able to stop this gender bias and pregnancy discrimination.
Absolutely, ma'am. I truly believe in that because right now, as an organization, because we see very few women who are, at the higher level of the organization, and even then, all of them have a very solid story that their organization helped them, and people and their family also helped them. One more thing that we see in terms of generally women, not necessarily married women, is gender pay gap. We say that we have handled the situation, but gender pay gap is still very relevant in most industries. So, and right now a woman is working, a lot of women are working to support their families, and a lot of them are just working because they want to work for themselves, right? So how do you think an industry leader can address this gender pay gap that is existing in a lot of industries even now?
Yeah, you're very correct. Gender pay gap is a very important, topic, and I'm glad that you chose this question because it exists everywhere. Even today, hard money comes on board on the table for a family from the male, participants of the household. So yes, despite being equally qualified, educationally or more, women have to sadly experience gender wage gap across industries. It is very real, and it makes it very difficult for them to manage work and family because, as you correctly rightly said, that women are working to run their families as well, and if they are being paid so less, how will they even run the house? So, for same jobs, like for example, men are paid more than females. So, one thing which is very much responsible is societal ways of how things have been since ages, and there is one discrimination against women where the society feels that the women have to be suppressed, their earnings overall have to also be suppressed. So that is one thing that goes. Secondly, another reason is that industries and occupations that women choose are less paying, and there has also been a fact that when women choose an industry, that automatically becomes less paid, and when men frequent one particular zone or industry, that becomes well paid. So these are also some of the things that happen. For example, IT industries where men really flock, and they are there, and even women are there, but the pay scale is much better for men there, and lots and lots of women do not turn into STEM because they've been brought in such a way where they have been asked to be taking streams like training, development, education sector, or work from home, virtual jobs, etc. Rather than going for networking and IT industry jobs. So one more thing that women have to face is long hours. They cannot be giving long hours to jobs which require long hours. For example, IT industry requires it because women have also family caretaking duties and responsibilities. Women at top positions are constantly questioned also for their abilities at work. Sometimes even termed, that they have gained such a stature and so much of power through illicit means. So these are also things which happen. So industry leaders actually should again become more understanding here. They have to consider that experience in years, educational qualifications, and performance graph of a female should actually decide her wages. It has to be kept really similar to what a male employee is given for similar roles, similar experience. And then of course, companies with existing malpractices should go for wage should actually go for a bell curve graph change where they have to do some salary correction and bring it to a similar level for both the employees, even male and female. So these are some things that companies can do. Apart from that, companies should try and give, again I'm telling you this, I'll be keeping on telling this, that flexi approach is very much needed for women. Work from home is very much needed for women. It is really important. So companies should think about that. And of course, female dominated professions, like teaching and all, have a lot of social benefits attached. So probably, they have to also be made economically beneficial, which is why I think that these jobs, which are low paid, should actually become well paid now. And lastly, family support. Families should actually encourage women to go, whichever direction they want to, they choose to. So if a girl wants to become a fashion designer, it's okay, let her be. If a girl wants to go into IT, wants to go into STEM, let her go there. So, women should actually be encouraged from a very small age to choose freely, because that kind of a confidence which actually give them an edge to stand in a male dominated society like ours, in the future. So the family support is very much important.
Right, ma'am. I really, believe that all of this should happen, especially, so that we can support more women who are coming out to work, because there is a glass ceiling that a woman is, expected to kind of break when she is in an organization. There is always an invisible ceiling that is there for you, for a woman, only when you break that ceiling, you can reach somewhere. But right now, I feel a lot of women, are taking this opportunity, they are working and exploring different areas, where they can support them, they can sustain themselves, as in they don't need an
Right.
organization to partner with, because like you said, there are a lot of issues. So right now, as we see, there are various career options and various career paths where a woman, chooses to work independently at her own convenience, adding value to the life of the people. So do you think that, these career options and, path should be explored by women even more? And how can a woman start exploring that, that she can do something like this also?
Right, actually, you're correct. Women these days, like to become their own bosses. So basically, virtual jobs are gaining a lot of traction these days. Work from home jobs are gaining a lot of traction these days. Many women actually post marriage, especially babies, when babies happen to them, they want to be their own bosses, as I told you. So that is one thing. Of course, they have that zeal to do something in life. They want to excel in life. Sitting at home, they don't want to, just because many women out there are actually leaving their jobs, their highly paid, well paid careers for the sake of their families, to run their families, to take care of their babies. So yes, this is actually a very good decision. A lot of home based entrepreneurial roles like fashion designers, boutique owners, chocolatiers, home chefs, home bakers, jewelry designers have come into place these days. Similarly, there are a lot of NLP coaches, mental wellness coaches, trainers, motivational speakers, astrologers, writers, social media management professionals who are upcoming. They come more and more into the picture, and they are all working from home. Bloggers, ebook authors. Suddenly, you can find that every second person is a blogger, and every second person is an author these days, because that has also seen a lot of search thanks to all these self-publishing platforms, ebook publishing platforms, which is giving a lot of options where women can also earn. So they can earn royalty also after publishing those books. From blogging, also women can earn. They can earn via ad management, via Google AdSense and all. But yes, for work from home options for virtual jobs, Rome wasn't built in one day. So, gaining popularity, being outstanding, making your business peak, making it profitable will take its own course of time. But what matters the most here is the trial that, oh, okay, fine, I've been sitting at home and I have not been able to contribute much to my, earnings there, or to my family earnings there, but I'm still trying. So that matters. That really matters. And then, of course, there are a lot of virtual assistants for many companies who seek for virtual assistants there. Those roles are there in the market. If you frequent sites like Freelancer, if you frequent sites like Upwork, there is a lot of options there for varied roles. Like, for example, a company might hire for PAs, a company might hire for project managers, content writers. So there are varied roles there to go through, and all of these are work from home options. So that is one thing which actually supports a woman also. And then there are a lot of women oriented platforms and communities. For example, your platform, Women Novator, similarly, Winnings 3, or also platforms like Sheroes, Queen, which actually have a lot of women-centric job roles to offer, that a woman can actually, choose, and they can actually work from home there. So yes, that particular thing has actually been into place now, and women like to be their own bosses. They like to be called their own bosses, and this is actually the time where you can actually earn a lot of money sitting right at your home using these channels.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely, ma'am, because now that everything has moved to being virtual, like you rightly mentioned in the beginning, also a lot of us are now working from home. A lot of conferences, meetings are happening from home. So definitely, this is something which is possible, that a lot of industry leaders and organizations have understood right now. And I believe we are slowly getting on the path where we are normalizing a woman working, definitely things have improved. And I hope that they continue to improve, where a lot of women are supported, and this idea, this stigma and the taboo that is around for a that a particularly that you're a woman, you cannot do a particular job, would slowly, I think, fade away, and there will be normancy. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable insights and taking out your time today. You definitely support and encourage a lot of women. You share their success stories. So do you also feel that sharing success stories is also very important part?
Yeah, it is actually, sharing. So Winnings 3 works on that model only. And, we actually believe that all women are winners. And, this model, Winnings 3, actually started by seeing a lot of women who are already doing, lots and lots of good work from their homes, actually. So, yes, of course, sharing, success stories really matters, not only to boost the confidence, the way the female thinks that she had been able to do something in her life, she had been able to, prove her point there, she had been able to give out a profitable business out there to her family, she had been able to earn a lot of hard money there for her family. So these are one thing that, there is of course there. Secondly, it is also equally important for, other females to get motivated seeing such success stories. So Winnings 3 works on that model. We share a lot of success stories. We share a lot of star power out there. We showcase women as stars, as winners, so that other women also get motivated and kind of try to do something good in their in their professions. These days, a lot of people are applying towards professional development following their passion. So, when they sit back at home, they don't know what to do. There are not much jobs out there where women can actually, earn a lot and also kind of. Get that satisfaction that yes, I'm doing some meaningful thing. So it's better for these women to actually follow their passion. So if a person is good in making chocolates, probably they become the next chocolate brand out there. So, that's there. So, yes, success stories is very important, and sharing that success stories not only via the females, like if I am successful, if I am sharing it, that doesn't make sense. But if others are sharing it, if your family is sharing it, it makes more and more sense. It makes you more and more, happy from within. So that is there.
Absolutely, ma'am. Women Innovator always believes in the same, opinion, that it is very important for women to support women, encourage women, and at the same time, tell stories about women who actually achieved something, because that will definitely inspiring a lot of women, not necessarily working, probably sitting at home, self-doubting herself, to also come out and try something new. So that was a very,
True.
very, well said answer. So as we move towards the end of the session, what is your final piece of advice or even a message that you would want to give to the audience who are listening to us right now?
Right. So, despite having said everything out there, a woman shouldn't forget that she is a nurturer from within. The caregiving instincts are from within her. It's okay to feel guilty. You will feel guilty when you're not able to give time to your family and you're going working long hours at work. At the same time, you'll also equally feel guilty when your male colleagues get that promotion because they were able to stretch for longer hours and you had to come back for your family needs. It all adds up actually, to feeling guilty for women. Women will always keep feeling guilty because women are emotional by nature, and that's there. But yes, it's a game of weighing your priorities. All that we said can be practices later. So, we have spoken a lot today about what companies can do, what all practices can be in place, but all of that probably will take time. But till then, the woman actually has to weigh out which guilt affects her more and accordingly choose a path, appropriate for her. So so that's there, of course, and yes, women shouldn't also forget to ask for their family's help for their family's support wherever possible, and raise girls as girls. Do not label them as boys. I've seen a lot of people, ये तो मेरा लड़का है ऐसे बोलते हैं लड़कियों को. That's not needed actually. Girls are more powerful. Girls are powerful as they are, and their basic nature shouldn't be changed at all. Every child should be brought up equally and taught all survival skills in life, and girls should actually not also adjust to the society at all. And lastly, I wanted to mention one thing that if you have to at all give anything to your daughters, you have to give them financial independence. So I see people saving for their daughter's marriage, कि ये धन राशि मैंने अपने लड़की के लिए बचा लिया कि उसकी शादी में इसको यूज करेंगे. Don't do that. Save it for her business. Save it for her job, save it for her education, so that you can gift her financial independence, because शादी तो बाद में वो खुद भी कर सकती है. But what about that financial independence? So many women these days are dependent financially on their husbands, on their families. So why not try, give financial independence to girls?
Absolutely, ma'am. I believe that is a wonderful piece of message, that you could have shared. It is very important that parents, start saving for a career for their daughters rather than just the marriage, because things are slowly changing. The society is definitely becoming, more supportive. There are more men also who are coming out and supporting women in all these endeavors. Thank you so much, ma'am, again for
Yeah,
taking
just
out this time
one
for
last
us
thing
today.
I wanted to mention here is that despite this particular statements that I made was a lot of there was a lot of feminist approach there. But yes, times are changing gradually, slowly. Times have changed, and there are many males that I know today who are during this lockdown helping their wives with household chores after their office work. So things are actually changing. Men are changing. They are more helpful. So yes, that's of course there. So times have changed, and females, if they ask for help, they will certainly get it from their families.
Absolutely, ma'am. I totally agree. And I believe as a society, we keep on evolving where, we support women, not just the women who get married and are working, but also women
Right,
homemakers, because they also play a very important role that a lot of us
right.
have realized during the lockdown period.
Absolutely,
Thank you
motherhood
so
is
much, ma'am,
is a full
for
time job.
right, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for taking out your time with us today. It was
thank
indeed
you,
a pleasure to, have you here and listen you talk about all these important things. Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you
Thank you
so much,
everyone for
Ankita.
tuning in.